Mike Armstrong. I'm the Chief Executive Officer at NCARB. The exam, of course, is something that everyone likes to talk about, and it's something that we have been focused on for several years in terms of fairness and licensure, as we call it. So in this past fiscal year, we did several things to improve access to the exam while still promoting rigor in the exam. We created a new path for individuals that use English as a second language. So we looked at the options and we decided that the best way to accommodate is to allow extra time on the exam. And that's been very well responded to by our member boards and by the communities of interest out there that have really struggled with not getting the answers wrong, but completing the exam. We also introduced a new prep material for examination called our free practice exams. This came out of a study that we've been doing with the National Organization of Minority Architects, where we talked about the fact that cost and culture are the main impediments toward diversity in the profession. The cost isn't just about school, it isn't just about paying fees for exams, it's also about the cost of test prep. So we've created a suite of full-length exams that actually mimic the real exam in real time. And it takes away the mystery and the stigma around what does it feel like to be in a test center situation, or what kind of questions is NCARB really asking. So we're really excited about this. We've already seen good early results. Over 1 year, we've seen that if a person of color takes the practice exam, they're likely to improve their performance by 16 to 18%. And all individuals taking the practice exams are improving their performance by 12%. So this has shown an immediate return on investment, and we're really excited about that. We also tackled a policy that had been in place for a long time that is nicknamed the rolling clock. We did a data analysis of the impact of the rolling clock, and it indicated that people in underrepresented groups, particularly women, were being excluded from passing the exam because life got in the way. So we went back, talked with our psychometricians again, worked with our board of directors, and came up with a new policy that now allows exams taken in the current iteration or the immediate previous iteration to count. So this has immediately brought thousands of people back into the eligibility status. It's made hundreds of people immediately eligible for licensing. And again, it's another way of demonstrating that we're trying to create an equitable approach to examination. One of the exciting moments of the year is when we went to London to finalize the agreement with the United Kingdom regarding reciprocity, mutual recognition. We call it the MRA, or the Mutual Recognition Arrangement. This was the result of several years of joint analysis by folks in the UK and our own volunteer committee to assess the paths to licensure. We concluded that while the UK process at the macro level looks very different than the US process, at the micro level it's very similar. This was also representative of the new approach that NCARB is taking toward the global community and how we look at our own licensure process. As we've pursued looking fresh at all of our existing programs, we're seeing outdated requirements. We're seeing unnecessary impediments. And one of those impediments is that one size does not fit all. And so we really decided that it was time to open up our minds into how can someone demonstrate competence that would lead to licensure. And so President Ward created a competency task force and a research and development task force that is designed to be multi-year in nature to start talking about these issues at a macro level. We felt that we'd made enough changes and improvements to the value of having the NCARB certificate that the time to offer people an opportunity to come back to NCARB was really a good time. So with what we've done with our mutual recognition arrangements with other countries, what we're doing with the path to licensure, how our brand is resonating in a different way as valuable and important, because part of having an NCARB certificate is certainly about being mobile across jurisdictional boundaries, but it's also an investment in the next generation of architects, because the certificate program is what helps partially underwrite all of our candidate programs, both the AXP and the ARE. Hitting the 50,000 mark, which isn't quite 50% of licensed architects, but it's getting closer, indicates that the NCARB certificate is needed. It's an essential aspect of practice for anyone who wants to practice in another jurisdiction. And now, as we get more mutual recognition agreements, it's also a global passport. We're also adding free continuing education all the time to this. A lot of people are liking what we offer because we offer only HSW credits, and that's usually what people are really needing to get, especially as the year comes to an end. One of the collaborations that I'm really excited about that happened in FY23 is the coming together of 4 different disciplines, technically 5 disciplines. NCES, which is the Engineers and Surveyors Regulatory Organization, CLARB, which is Landscape Architects, and CIDQ, which gives a credential to interior designers, along with NCARB. We often share licensing boards, either all 4 organizations or some mix of those 4. But we decided, why don't we try to do something together for the greater good of our member boards? Namely, try to tackle this mysterious issue that we've referred to as incidental practice that we're now calling overlapping practice. Is there a way to design model law that would indicate when is it legal for any one of these disciplines to cross the line into another discipline in a way that doesn't injure the public health, safety, and welfare? This is not easy, but we think we're going to make progress, and we think that the will of the leadership of these 4 organizations is do something. I think FY23 was an emergence. It was a repositioning. We are now ready into the new fiscal year to tackle some more complicated issues, ranging from multiple paths to the future of our existing programs and more on governance. So we really think we set the table into FY23.